It's that time of the week, ladies and gentlemen. We are giving you our trade for and trade away targets. But first, happy Thanksgiving from Fantasyland to you.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Spend it with your family. Eat a lot of pumpkin pie, apple pie, whatever pie you want.
Just have a plate for us.
If you're going to fall asleep at some point, do it during the Lions game. All right. We're going to do trade targets. My first trade for is a mystery trade target. You can pause the video at any time and take a guess.
Okay.
Comment down below if you want to, say, oh, I guessed it before you said it. Here's some hints for you, okay?
Okay.
This player is averaging just under 7.5 targets per game.
Okay.
He's been injured a lot this season, which currently leaves him ranked as the 124th player at his position.
Okay.
Has just stepped into a massive role on a very explosive offense, which could be temporary. Already had his bye week.
Right.
Very talented. This one should give it away. He needs to ball out for the rest of the season to get a good contract in the offseason because he's a free agent. Any last minute guesses? Put him right now. The last thing I'm going to say is he has the fourth easiest remaining strength of schedule. Badaki, who is the mystery trade for target?
Mystery trade for target is Michael Gallup.
That's right. Michael Gallup, again, averaging a good amount of targets in an explosive offense. If you need a win this week, he is someone you should trade for. Great matchup. No CeeDeez, no Amari. Even when they come back, it's Dalton Schultz who's on the back burner. So I like Michael Gallup as an easy buy low target, especially if you need to win in the next coming weeks.
Yeah, I love it. Michael Gallup, he's a guy we were so high on him coming into this year. Then he got injured. My first trade for target is DeAndre Hopkins. And if you are in a position to get someone like a DeAndre Hopkins, why not take the opportunity right now and get him? Obviously, he's been injured with a hamstring injury, and also Kyler Murray's been injured. But I do believe they're going to come back together, hand in hand, back right after this bye week. And look, there's no doubt about it that DeAndre Hopkins is a top 8, top 5 wide receiver in fantasy or just in talent wise as well. But what I'm looking for is the schedule, strength of schedule, and then also, I mean, he's gonna put up points. Let's be completely honest. The last 3 are actually playoff games. After he comes out of the bye week, he has Detroit in week 15, Indianapolis in week 16, and week 17 he has Dallas Cowboys, which I believe all they're going to do is get D-Hop back into the rhythm, get Kyler Murray back into the rhythm, and get targeted and ready for the playoffs. So I like DeAndre Hopkins here.
I imagine that the D-Hop owner is struggling after pretty much not having him this week, included 5 weeks in a row. So they're going to need to make a move. I like this. All right, my next trade for target is DeeKay Metcalf, currently averaging less than 6.5 PPR points per game since Russ came back. Let me say that again. Averaging less than 6.5 PPR points per game since Russell Wilson returned. But he has had 8 targets in both of those games.
Right.
And last week, he was so close to an amazing one-handed touchdown catch. Man. It was almost one of the best grabs of the year. This comes down to 2 factors, and I have to ask you a question that you have to ask yourself. Number 1, do you believe in Russell Wilson? Personally, I believe in Russell Wilson.
Yes,
I believe in the talent, the totality of his career, and that finger injury is just going to continue to get more healthy, and it's going to lead to him playing better ball. I believe in him as a quarterback. Number 2, do you believe that this offense gets better? Do you believe in Pete Carroll? Do you believe in Russ, DeeKay, Lockett, Alex Collins? Do you believe in this offense as a whole? I believe in this offense. I know it's been bad lately, but I think they played good offense last week versus the Cardinals. They just couldn't finish off drives. And it's just one thing that needs to click. And once they start clicking, I think DeeKay is going to be a great fantasy option. His next 3 games. So if you need to get into the playoffs, Washington on Monday night, the Niners, who are banged up in the secondary, and then Houston. Those are the next 3 games. If you need to make the playoffs, this could be a move that puts you into the playoffs.
Yeah, it's a good run of playoff schedule, so I like it personally. Look, my next trade for target is Miles Sanders, and I know this is hard to believe, and I know it's probably a bit too late for Miles to kind of bounce back, but I still believe. Okay, if you have hope in Miles Sanders and what we see in the past 3-4 weeks with the run game with Boston Scott and Jordan Howard, this is Miles' backfield if they give him the opportunity. Yes, 16 carries last week, 94 yards, and then he fumbled. And then Nick Sirianni said, go to the corner, stare at the wall, and you're in timeout. It was terrible. If he continued, I do believe he probably would have had 150 over 12, 15 fantasy points potentially. Probably could have found the end zone. But look, I like Miles Sanders. Okay, and this was a good defense. Let's not forget about that. The Saints is a good run defense. But once again, I am looking for rest of season schedule, playoff schedule, and obviously, and he also has a bye. By the way, he hasn't had his bye week, so he plays the Giants next week, the Jets, and then he has a bye. But the playoff schedule: week 16 Washington, week 15 Washington, week 16 Giants, and week 17 Washington football team again. All teams that give a lot of points to the running back position. So why not go and try to get somebody on the low like a Miles Sanders that can help your team out?
You can get him pretty cheap as well, I think. I don't know if you can rely on him, but you can get him cheap. And if he continues that form and the bye week, that's what you need to sell. All right, my next and last trade for target is Kareem Hunt. Again, I am doing this again, the same trade target as last week, because I think it's an underrated move, and I really think it's going to help people win championships. You can only make this move if you're already in the playoffs or positioned to be in the playoffs and you feel good about it. But before Kareem Hunt's injury, he was the running back 9 in PPR formats. In 6 games that he's played, he's had 5 touchdowns, and he was used a lot on the goal line over Nick Chubb. I think that was on purpose. When he comes back, in my opinion, he's instantly a top 15 to 20 PPR option at the running back position. It's not a coincidence to me that the Browns have been worse without Kareem. I think he was a big X factor to this team.
Yes, I agree.
He was injured 5 weeks ago, and the report was that he would be back in 4 to 6 weeks. They have a bye week next week. I think he comes back after that bye. Use all of this as trade ammunition in your talks, okay? Hey, he's still going to be injured. We don't know how long it's going to be. The bye week's still coming up because the playoff schedule is so good. Baltimore, Las Vegas, and Green Bay. And while these teams can score a lot of points, that would hurt a player like Nick Chubb, not Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt in these games is probably going to get 5 to 7 targets because they're going to be playing potentially down in some of these games. I like Kareem Hunt. Go get him. This is probably your last chance before reports come out that he's healing up and about to be back.
Yeah, I like Kareem Hunt. We always liked him from the beginning of the season. So take the opportunity. My last trade for target is CeeDeez Lamb, another Cowboys on this list. Look, in my opinion, he's going to miss. I think it's already confirmed that he's going to miss this game. He has concussion. It's too short of a window for him to play on Thursday night on Thanksgiving. Okay. Once again, we're looking for playoff opportunity, playoff matchup opportunity. Like Zach said, the Cowboys have the 4th easiest schedule moving forward. He's playing the Giants, Washington football team, and then Arizona. I mean, if you need a wide receiver, why not take it? He's currently wide receiver 12, which is, in my opinion, doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like
he's surprising. He's been up and down, but he's found his stride. Yeah,
exactly. So, I mean, you've seen the points that he's got week 5 against the Giants, 18 points. Vikings, week 8, 17 points. Atlanta, week 10, 28 points. I mean, he's getting the points and he's getting the opportunity, and I'm confident that he will give you at least 15 points during the playoffs because these teams give up a lot of points to the wide receiver position.
Yeah, it almost feels like an Adam Thielen. Like, he can win you weeks, but he can also present like an okay floor. It's slightly boom bust, but I think he's in a better offense, so I really like it.
I agree.
All right, we're going to give you 2 tradeaways quickly. My first tradeaway is Damien Harris, currently the running back 23 in PPR formats.
Right.
Look at Damien's next 3 weeks. Tennessee, Buffalo, and then the bye week. Tennessee's been better defensively. Buffalo is still, despite what happened last week, the best rush defense. Right. And then you don't even get to use him in 3 weeks from now because he still needs to go on his bye week.
Yeah.
Playoffs don't get much better. Indianapolis, good run defense, then Buffalo, and then Jacksonville. Jacksonville's a good matchup, but you have to get to that last week of the playoffs to really get into that matchup. And the biggest reason why I want to trade away Harris is because of Ramondre Stevenson. Look, I really think Ramondre Stevenson is a legit talent in the league. When Harris was out, he proved that he could be an all-star, putting up over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Stevenson is slowly making this a 50-50 split backfield. If you look at last week, the snap percentages, Damien Harris, 39%, Stevenson, 34%. So it's only going to get more and more even with these snap percentages. And Stevenson led the team, I guess, at the running back position in yardage last week versus Atlanta. But there was one play that got called back because of holding that was extremely impressive. He was supposed to be tackled for a loss, made a couple people miss, went up to the sideline, made a couple more people miss. He's just an elusive, a talented guy, and he gets work in the passing game more than Harris. So I think they both are going to cancel each other out as far as if you can rely on them in fantasy. So sell Harris right now. He's still a name that people think is going to be good. I think his best fantasy days are behind him this year.
Yeah, Ramondre Stevenson, dynasty perspective, I think you should take every opportunity and go and grab him, in my personal opinion. My trade away target is Miles Sanders. Okay. Miles Gaskin. Miles Sanders. Is Miles Gaskin. He is surprisingly the running back 16 of the season.
That is so crazy.
And these are selling points. He's currently higher than Dalvin, Gibson, CMC, and Jacobs. All pretty big names. All guys you probably drafted in the first or second round in your leagues. So, look, and he had one of his best games last week. He was on the field for 74% of snaps. I mean, and the playoffs, if you really look at his schedule, there's a trend. The teams that don't give up a lot of points to the running back position, obviously Miles Gaskin is irrelevant. Less than 10 points, less than 1 point in one game, less than 3 points in one game.
Outside of Tampa Bay, that one crazy outlier.
Exactly. And then when he's going against teams that do give up a lot of points, he performs. So I think there's a trend there, and you can see it. The only team during the playoffs that give up a lot of points to the running back position is the Jets in week 15. Plus he has a bye week. So this is a great selling point. And if you don't believe in Miles Sanders, then I don't believe he'll get you Miles Gaskins. I don't know why I keep saying Miles Sanders. If you don't believe
trade for.
Yeah, if you don't believe in Miles Gaskin, then trade him away, because I don't think in week 16 or week 17 he's going to be giving you more than 10 fantasy points.
There was a name specifically that we talked about on the podcast, which was Josh Jacobs.
Yes.
I think Josh Jacobs, Antonio Gibson, maybe even a Miles Sanders. These could be guys that you could consider in trades. But
I agree.
Let us know in the comments if you're going to make any of these moves, and we'd be happy to help.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch
now,
it.
You can also subscribe.
Right now.
If you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/fantasylandfam.